G'day everybody, welcome to another edition of Kev's Workshop. This here is my N.S.W.R CPH rail car. It's a little bit battered and bruised these days, but I made this back in the 90s. Scratch built body, a shortened down Green Max chassis. I put directional lighting into it with fibre optics, which you might be able to see in this slot. So yeah, the fibre optics comes through the roof. Inside, it's done the same at the other end. Perhaps a little bit harder to see because the radiator pipes are on top. But generally speaking, this is done in the traditional colour scheme. That's the power bogie there with the motor on top. Then you can see the dummy motor and all that underneath. Well, today being the 10th of November in 2021, I now have, if I come down to here, this box here which I've just sliced open. And if I open this up, it shows, if you read the box, Australia, made in China, where most of the Chinese are made as well. However, jokes aside, Eureka models. In recent weeks, let me get this thing out of here. Put the box to one side. Yep, chuck it on the floor. In recent weeks, I've actually spoke to the guys at Eureka Models, and so we get this light off here. CPH CTH rail motor set. Now, all I wanted was just the standard CPH without the trailer car. So the guys were able to accommodate I should say, and basically they had this one available, last in stock, from what I can understand of it, if I get my hand around all this. But generally speaking, this is the last one available. There's new stock due to come out in 2022. Just bear with me a sec, I'll just change this camera position. Okay, with a different camera position here, you can see it's on the end of the box. The vacuum seal on this is unbelievable. Get a muscle power to get the lid off the box. But it does come complete with a booklet. Tells you all about it. For those who get it with the digital already fitted, QSI sound, there's a whole lot in here. I won't bore you to tears on that, but certainly just about every Eureka Models product you get, there'll be a booklet of some sort that goes with it. So, with things put to one side now, little area you put your finger in and lift that up, and there it is. This is in the Tuscan and Russet. So now to get it out of the box for the first time. Little bits of ribbon, if you want to call it. I will help you get it out. Then by the time you take all the wrapping off it, there it is, unwrapped. And while I've got the lighting on this effect, here's the underneath detail. Most people wouldn't see all this until they buy one themselves or end up with one in their collection. Very nicely detailed. This has got the pilot beam on the other end, or cow catcher, whichever way you want to call it. This Tuscan and Russet colour scheme is a different variation to its standard tradition. And there's a rooftop detail if we can get it right. There we go. A lot more detail than what my N.S.W.R one is. And as a size comparison, get this to sit up here balanced enough without hitting the deck. There's our HO and N.S.W.R CPH rail motors together. Now for those who don't understand, HO is 16.5mm gauge track and N.S.W.R is 9mm gauge track. Scale ratio, you got 1/87th on the HO, and then this is 1 to 160. unless you go the English version, which is 1 to 148. And my bit of track I've got here, you can see clearly I've inserted some Pico N.S.W.R flexi inside some HO scale Pico flexi. It can be done, by the way. But yeah, so this will give you a bit of an idea. There's some of the detail that's on the Eureka Models CPH. So it'll give you an idea if you were to ever get one. I'm led to believe that these are due back in stock again by April 2022. So whenever you're watching back this video, you might be able to get in contact with Eureka Models, find out if there's any more available in stock. So my one, I don't have a rear cow catch on this one. I did have a coupling. I removed the coupling because it wasn't needed. But as you can see, it has hit the deck and buckled out a bit, been broken a few times over the years. But this comparison is just between my N scale one and the HO scale one. Now, when I wanted to get one of these years ago, I couldn't afford one, but after doing some casual work for the last 6 to 12 months, a fairly good number of hours, I saved hard for that. So yeah, the N.S.W.R 36 class is still in the background, the green one, but still, this will give you an idea what to expect with a Eureka Models item in HO. Something that's nice and highly detailed. You can get these fitted DCC or digital command control, and these locos and rail cars and whatever else you get, you generally add $100 to the price just because of the fact it's digital. So yeah, that's the comparison between the HO and N scale jobs. Again, I'll get another view with the lighting on it, so you get to see the underfloor details. And if I turn that this way, that feels like it's driven at both ends. Yep, 8-wheel drive. One I'll switch down underneath the floor here, nicely hidden near my thumb. I'll move the thumb out of the way altogether. Right. There you can see one there. I'll spin this around. There's another one. So a pair of switches underneath. At least they are for the turning on or off of marker lights or something like that. So if I cart all this over here to my test track, I've got a 284 Berkshire River Aussie. That was built up from parts, so I was still missing the trailing 4 wheels. Castle class Hornby Barkman job. That had DCC fitted. DCC chip failed, so I've turned it back to DC. She runs nice. Not bad score. Got that for $30. It's worth about 130 to 160 second-hand brand new. Second-hand. Brand new, it's worth more than that here in Australia. Essentially, it's a GM636, which is this one here. Got a $20 price tag on it. It was up for sale, but because it didn't work, got it for nothing. And then another little River Aussie job. By the way, this one in the background's AHM. But yeah, this little one here, the 240, that's a River Aussie job. Very noisy runner. But again, I was given that because it didn't work. But I got it running. So, what I might just do a minute. If I just switch on my power to auxiliary speed control. Yeah, they're the R cars that I was similar to what I'm working on or have been working on. The L cars, which is a different variation of that. Now, if my control's still plugged in, which I think it is, and I think the castle's still wired up. Yep, it is. Seeing it didn't run. hit a dead spot, never mind. So if I just pull this around here, the hand of God nonsense, I'll change a switch point. So that's now set for the straight through. I can now put the CPH onto here, and it is a very weighty unit. That is a fair bit of weight to it. Let's see how it goes. Oi! Hello! This has got sound in it. Oh, that's more than I bargained on. Ah, damn dead spots. Oh well, nothing I keep alive couldn't fix. Oops, my fingers in the oil lens. Alright, change it the other way now. Fortunately, start up each time. Ah, bloody hell. Must have stalled it. Shall get in and clean these tracks later. And it's got tail lights. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, that's a bit easier for you. Just hand holding the camera today, so it's a little bit all over the place. So it's the first run out of the box. I'm suitably impressed. Using an old Hornby frying power pack this. That's running bloody beautiful, that. Look carefully. See, the marker lights have turned to red for the tail lights. Bring the voltage down to just the right spot. Down to the 0 mark. And then back on again the other direction. As I bring the throttle up. That'd be a nice addition and collection to my layout. Oh, yeah. Back to 0 again. I'll just bring it forward just a little bit the other way. Ah, bugger it. Come on. Stalled it again. I'll leave it there. Bugger it. Found a dead spot, obviously. But nevertheless, not a bad unit. Let's just bring it up a bit further. N.S.W.R style. Yeah. So at least with this, you get some idea what the Eureka model's CPH is like. And the CTH is a trailer car. The PH, in this case CPH, is the power car. That's the differences. And then on the power car you've got the radiator grills up near the headlight, which are these ones up here. So let's see if we can get a bit better view on that. In real life they were the cooling radiators for the engine, which is underneath. And as you can see, swing down to here, come down to ground level, you see where the diesel engine is mounted under the floor. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick little episode, you might call it. It's only a shorty of an episode, but that's my new Tuscan and Russet Eureka models CPH of the New South Wales Government Rail. At least now this will become part of my collection, and that'll be seen on my layout next time I set it all up and get things running. With the Castle class, now this one is actually numbered 4097, and as you see it has not got the same nameplate that I would like. This is Kellingworth Castle. Now if I could change it to 4076 and make it into Pendennis Castle, that'll be a big help for me, because Pendennis Castle was brought over from the UK to Western Australia. That's the reason why I've got this castle class in my collection now. Now the reason, thing I'm going to do with this, I'm going to West Australianise it. And all I have to do is put a headlight on top of the smoke box in front of the handrail area, just above the smoke box door, and paint the valve cylinder covers in white. That's all I really have to do. And then change the badge to Pendennis Castle, change the number to 4076 for memory, or 4067, one or two. But once I change the nameplate and number, then I can say it's West Australianised. So even though it's now gone back to the UK, I can run this with either my New South Wales 3801 or the Flying Scotsman, which I also have in my collection. So I can do the West Australian tour of Flying Scotsman with Pendennis Castle, or the New South Wales tour with 3801 and 4472. So at least having these significant locos in my collection, they are all something I've either had something to do with in real life or just been a part of. And these carriages here, that's my old car set, or the print up of them. That's on a previous YouTube video for those who wish to choose to look that up. These cars, even though I've got this printed up across 2 pages of A4, these particular cars are the centre aisle type. So they're running as a 6-car set. So there's the other end car. And down here is the classification and how they ran. They were nicknamed Cub sets. So Cub set number 85 was comprised of HFL 343, it's just the way this is overlapped, which should be this first one up here. It's a bit hard to read. Right, so that's the first one in the set. Then if we cross-reference down here, following that should be BL337 and BL356. Well, there's BL337, which is that one. And that one should be 356. Sorry, correction. Wrong camera place, here we are. That's the other BL. So we go HFL, BL, then we've got BL, that's the RFL, which we cross-reference down here, RFL 418, followed by FL 355, which should be that one there. And tailing on the end of it is the other HFL, which in this case is number 416. So that's the consist. That was the carriages that were all associated with this particular set in real life. Now these wooden body carriages have not been on the main line in years, and for memory this set is preserved in real life. I know a lot of these sets were broken up into individual carriages and sold, some going to museums and others being cut for scrap. So that is the centre aisle L cars, which as I say you'll see on another one of my YouTube videos. And by comparison, the R cars, which look identical from, I suppose, a glance as they come sailing past, same bodies, different window pattern, and these are compartment cars. So in the movie called The Steam Train Passes, which these shots are from, these shots were actually done as a still frame from the actual movie. The Steam Train Passes was done in 1976 for memory, and 3801 on the front. There's a shot by a friend of mine called Dennis, who works for Channel 2 Sydney, or used to at least. That shot's out at, I'll remember it later, out past Bathurst. But that's one of the scenes where they're out by the church. And there's a tail car of the train going through. These should hopefully be still available through Casula Hobbies. And if you look at the window lines on this, they're in pairs. So you've got that pair there, and these are the compartment cars. And Casula Hobbies in Sydney, down at Liverpool, where you can get them from. And there it is there. Set 109, Indian Red, 6-car set. And if we look at this, I can focus in. Come on camera, focus in. It's set 109. I'll see if we get this one up here instead. Yeah, you can see it clearer. So that set is available in HO scale through Casula Hobbies in Sydney. You're looking at about $990 Australian for these, but otherwise that's that set. And for those of you who are interested, this is the old Hobby Trying power pack I'm using on my test track. There's a reset button right in above the dial, so it trips out, you push that button resets it. It's as simple as it gets. Simple 12 volt output. Running via the alligator clips on leads straight to the track. One thing you also find when it comes to this, if I zoom back in again before it's parked, if I put the control to full on, hang on a minute, sort of slow it down again, and then bring it back up gradually. Up. Start again. That just moved on for the wires, folks. That'll give you an idea. So you can go from very low voltage straight to high voltage, drop it back down again, and then gradually bring it up a little bit at a time. And gradually slow it back down again. That'll sit there and idle for a while. We've got DC-C control. So any of those DC-C controls, like all the major ones used, the NCE Power Cab and Power Cab Pros, things like that, you'll be able to operate the horn separately. Yeah, engine change. So you can leave it sitting idling like that for a while, and then you bring the throttle up a bit at a time. Might not be everyone's cup of tea or coffee or bottle of plant, but when you set it running past the engine idling, or it's above idle, you should be right. I hope you enjoyed this short video. I'll catch you later.